Why did the Anglo French War last so long? Nearly 1,000 years ago, in 1109 AD, the Norman conquest of England stirred land disputes that exploded into 706 years of war between France and England. Henry I of England and Louis VI of France clashed over their claims in Normandy. So what exactly was their dispute? English kings from the Norman and Angevin dynasties owned estates inside France that were technically under French rule, yet the English kings still ruled England independently. Then Louis VI disputed Henry I's rights in Normandy, and he encouraged rebellious Norman barons to challenge their English rulers. Henry I fought back with alliances of his own, and he scored a victory at Bremule in 1119. The Hundred Years' War period of 1337 to 1453 was born out of this back-and-forth tension. The period began when England's Edward III declared himself rightful heir to the French throne. English longbowmen dominated major battles, including Crecy in 1346 and Agincourt in 1415, by using powerful yew bows they had practiced with since youth. The French eventually rallied behind leaders such as Bertrand du Guesclin and Joan of Arc. Joan's victory at Orleans and her later martyrdom revived French morale. Thus, English troops lost territory bit by bit until they only held Calais, which stayed under English control until 1558. Eventually, the war left Europe and extended across the globe once both kingdoms built overseas colonies. Maritime power became a deciding factor. Britain relied on its Royal Navy, and France worked to expand its naval presence as well. The 7 Years' War from 1756 to 1763 saw British fleets disrupting French shipping, while French forces sometimes won on the European continent. However, French support for the American colonists secured the United States' independence from Britain at the Siege of Yorktown in 1781. Back in Europe, French revolutionary leaders in Paris executed France's king Louis XVI in 1793. So Britain's monarchy felt threatened and then funded coalitions that opposed the new French Republic. Incredibly, the French military strategist Napoleon Bonaparte seized power, reorganized France, and planned to invade the British Isles. But the British Navy at Trafalgar in 1805 prevented Napoleon from expanding outside of continental Europe. After his failed invasion of Russia in 1812, Napoleon was surrounded by the armies of the Sixth Coalition. Thus, Napoleon abdicated in 1814, but he was finally crushed at Waterloo when he returned after escaping exile in 1815. That final defeat ended 706 years of intermittent conflict. France and Britain signed treaties, rebuilt their economies, and their cooperation has lasted until today.